We're going to speak today, I know, about a scene that you and Egil have selected from the film. Can you just situate that for us a little bit? Just speak to, what the scene is and where in the film it's located, so that viewers can watch it, and then we'll come back and talk about it a bit.
It's a very short story, but one of my favorite episodes of the film. It's about chickens, because we normally believe, and I believe in every expression, in any language, there is an expression like stupid like a chicken, right? So, and this is kind of in our mind, that they're stupid. And you can see in the film, they're not stupid, they're thinking, they have emotions, they feel. And this is the moment when they first time experience freedom. This is the moment they first time touching the grass, touching the ground, and go from the jail they used to be all their life.
Victor, I've noticed, that animals have been a part of all of your films, especially dogs. And one of the most interesting things that I think you've achieved with this film, GUNDA, is situating animals as protagonists in an ethical relationship with the viewer, simply by conveying the value animals have for their own lives, and not because they're in any way like us. And I think this has a really profound ramification for the documentary field and for how all participants in films are treated, actually. And also how, in this case, the viewer is also reminded of their own animal nature. It's really groundbreaking. And I think this achievement has a lot to do with how you directed, and also how you and Egil decided to film this. And so I wondered if you could speak to that with our scene-stealing chicken, Peggy, that we've just seen. Can you speak to the clip that you chose, and the role of the camera, and how you chose, how you guys set up this scene and how you chose to film it. And also,
can I first a little bit? It was, you said directed, and this is wrong for this film because I did not direct it. It was opposite. I was privileged to spend time with those animals. With all of them. It was absolutely opposite of our intention. We did not want to direct it. We just wanted to be close if they allow us. And that's why I invited Egil. He has this unique ability to find perfect distance between camera and character. I saw it in his previous film as he did as director and as Steadicam and cameraman, a cinematographer. So that's why when I knew I gonna make film about animals, I knew I need someone very delicate who feel any movement, any mimic, any position of body. He feel, can you go closer or you should not? Can we go tiny bit closer or better to go tiny bit back? And that's why I invited Egil, and I'm so happy about it. That's why. So it's kind of collective job, which I am so happy.
Egil, do you want to speak about how you adjusted your, Steadicam shots are the Steadicam is very heavy and bulky. How did you actually prepare for this, and how did you and Victor come together to decide how you were going to shoot this?
I mean, from the beginning, Victor had this sort of idea that we need to spend time with these and care for these animals like we would have done with any character in any film. And the sort of whole idea of the film from Victor's point of view, as I understood it, was to try to portray these animals in the most beautiful and most profound way that we could do to give them the respect that they deserved. And I think, like Victor also pointed out, our mission together was to come as close as we could to them, to try to sort of experience maybe as the viewer a little bit of spending time together with these animals. And it was the same thing with the chickens. We spent a lot of time with them trying to get close, trying to figure out how we could, basically hang around with them. So the camera almost becomes a character on its own, spending time with chickens. And we hope that the viewer also will do the same.
And
interesting that, sorry, I will just continue. Interesting, Joslyn. The Steadicam is huge, right? But Egil is almost invisible. So you cannot normally come close to chicken. He will run away. But he is so delicate. He's almost like a cat. I'm sorry, cat is wrong because cat normally they will afraid. So I don't know. They did not consider him as any threat. He came and so smoothly, so gentle, so delicate. He came close to them. And they did not run. They took him as a part of environment. They just first time experienced this new environment. And Egil and Steadicam was just part of it. And this is why it's amazing.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, most people in filming this kind of thing, they would have used a lens that would have allowed them a lot of distance and move in on it with the lens. And it's very clear throughout this film that there's an intimacy in the way that you're moving. You obviously are much closer to the animals than most people would be when they're filming animals. And especially chickens are very skittish, as anyone who's been around a chicken knows. And so it's really amazing, the sort of intimacy that you achieve. And also it feels like the animals are coming to you, as opposed to you coming to them. So what were your lens choices in filming this? And if you want to speak to the scene that we've just seen, but, to the chickens in general, if you like.
I think in general, we decided that we wanted two different approaches. One, which was observing them from a distance and leaving them on their own, which we chose for parts of the film. But other parts of the film we wanted to be as close as possible physically, because it creates a different feeling of space. And it would be the same if you filmed any person in a film. You needed to spend a lot of time together with them to gain their trust. And it was the same process with filming this film, and with Gunda, with the chickens, with the cows that are also in the film. That it was a long process of gaining trust, and it was a long process of just hanging out with these animals, and having the privilege to spend time at a farm. Kind of in itself made us able to maybe come this close.
Oh, and so in terms of the sort of patience required while you're filming, there's a lot of things that reveal themselves in the film. You know, when you're watching the chickens in particular, there are these moments where you realize watching that they're experiencing things that they've never experienced before, simply by virtue of being released into the world. Can you speak to that a bit? Because it's really like, my experience was a kind of awakening watching that, and it really just unfurled very organically. And that seemed to me to take enormous patience from you all filming, because that could have taken months and months, right, to have something like
in
that.
a way, Joslyn is opposite.
Mm.
In a way, it was just one take. All of it. It was just one take. We didn't do anything double. We did not make second take. It was just because those chickens, they never experienced freedom. So just 1 second before we start this clip, we saw the first time one of them trying to touch grass by her feet, and she was like, she touching, and then it was like if she is touching boiling water. It was obviously she never experienced this contact with. So, and the fact that they, if you see, they look to the sky, they never seen before. Then flies passing, and they look to the flies like what is this? They never seen all of this. They all life were in cage. So that's why, in a way, you only can film it in such unique situation. And we knew we cannot repeat it. We knew we can only have, we found these beautiful people in UK who are buying from the slaughterhouse. They're buying chickens and gives them second life. So and we knew that sometime, a couple of times in years they're doing this. So we knew the date, and we knew we will not have second chance. We knew that tomorrow reaction of chicken will be different. So what we did, it came a couple of days before. We test all position of camera, all lenses, all our movement. We change how we can, where is light, where is clouds, what we will do if they run, what we will do if they will not do anything. So we imagine all situation. And then in fact, all of this is just what happened, nothing more. We didn't film even more. This is, in a way, I always believe the best film is when you film something unrepeatable, as their reaction to the world they never seen before, and you found the right way to do it, then connection of subject or situation you film and the way you film becoming unrepeatable, something unique and probably iconic.
Yes, when I first saw the chickens, I was just completely, I mean, there was like this kind of sense of suspense and suspension at the same time. It's like a Hitchcock movie when I remember the clip where you are following them as they walk through the woods. It's like they're just discovering the world, and this realization that they've never used their legs, they've never found their wings, they don't even know that they have wings. And to actually see that unfurl in front of you, and also know it, not because anyone's telling you it, but because you can actually see it. If you're paying attention, you can actually see it. And that to me is like, it's also a different way of treating the viewer, that the viewer, you're trusting the viewer to actually use their eyes and feelings and see something.
I just wanted to add to that, that when we were in the field trying to prepare for this shoot, I think most of us in the crew was sort of a little bit, you know, we were not sure that all of these sort of ideas that Victor had, or the sort of almost predictions that he had of what was going to happen was going to happen. And it happened so many times that we were preparing for a shoot, preparing for something extremely particular, like for the chickens, that they would look to the sky, they wouldn't know where they were, they wouldn't know how to handle the situation of freedom. And when you're there with the camera and it actually happens, and you are feeling the adrenaline of seeing that in front of your eyes, what we actually prepared for such a long time actually happens, then you feel really privileged of working with a documentary and also with such a, let's say, ambitious filmmaker that is actually trying to live within these sort of predictions of what's going to happen. And this was many special moments like that during the shoot, that we thought something's going to happen, or we were hoping something's going to happen, and it actually happened. And it was very beautiful.
You've created such a masterful and intimate and profoundly moving film. I think breaking quite a lot of ground in the documentary field, for which I'm eternally grateful. And so I thank you both for being on this Q&A with us here today. And I hope viewers will get a chance to see this amazing film. Thank you.